All right, hello, hello all.
Hello.
We are back.
Hello.
Great It's Journey Chronicles again tonight. We're all together. Yay.
Yes, together. Every time. I don't know why.
Just to give you a heads up, there is a massive storm. So if you see flickering or lights, or if we go off stream suddenly, that's it. The storm has got us. But I think we should be okay. So fingers crossed. We'll find out. Weather gods shine upon us. Cool.
Did you make the weather doll?
I did
make
not.
the little weather doll? Damn.
No. I keep we had the first storm 2 days ago or something like that, and it just snuck up on me. I was like, oh yeah, it is that time of year. That's right. Spring break ends, and then all of a sudden you get the storms. Means that winter's over finally.
Even though people say April showers bring May flowers, but look at this. Look at this shit.
Yeah. We do get a lot of rain. Cool. Let's do introductions. Lemur, you never start, so you go first. Your turn.
Oh boy. Hi, hello. My name is Lemur. And I voice a lot of characters. Suzato, Gina, Kazuma. I almost said the judge. That was where the delay was. It's like I'm not the judge now. I'm not the judge this time because I'm Kazuma. And more characters that will get filled in, I'm sure.
Yep.
And I believe 2 weeks ago we were going to talk about what our favorite Pokemon starters were.
We were, yeah. Do we want to have that now, or do we want to put that off since we started late? I'll leave it up to you guys.
I mean,
we could probably put it off.
Yeah, let's put it off. So remind us
next time,
and we'll discuss.
We'll discuss next week. It. Yes. I know, I had it in my head last Tuesday, and then we didn't do a group stream, and I was like, okay, do I go over it myself, or... But then I waited, and then completely forgot this stream, so... It happens. But next time, battle to the death, which is the best starter for each generation.
Oh, snap.
Yay!
Yeah!
Cool. Mana, you ready to give your intro?
Yeah, hello, my name is Manabingu. I am your resident voice actor. I am the April Fool. That's about it. I'm a fool in April.
It is April Fool's Day.
I am the April Fool. Yeah.
We don't have anything cool for either.
I just covered for you.
Thank you.
Covered for you. There you go. It is me. I am the April Fool. There you go. And I do voice another April Fool, Herlock Sholmes. He's a riot. This time the prosecution is the victim or someone. I don't know. He's the one.
The defendant.
We need to save the defendant. Yeah, the one we need to save from jail. So that's a plot twist. And then we'll see if any of my other characters die. Hooray!
Yay!
Because one of them did. Whee!
Yay!
I'm also the victim!
Yay! Or boo!
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm Kels. I'm your player one. You see me on your screen. You can see my screen. I have the controller. I control everything. I have all the power here.
You.
I play Ryunosuke Naruhodo, and I occasionally play the bailiff or whatever character just we randomly need, and they are all played by Elmo. And I actually mean the little red guy, like Elmo, that is 3.5 and has beef with a rock. So yeah, it's like the only impression I do, I think. And I don't even think it's a good one.
Yeah. I think it's a great one.
Oh, thank you. Sesame Street, if you need an Elmo impersonator, hit me up. Get me in the little red suit. I am small enough. I don't know if I actually am. I'm actually probably not, but I can figure out how.
I want something you would be too tall for.
Yay! One thing!
Damn.
Look, finding out that I am too short to be in the Mickey Mouse costume at Disney, like, you have to be very short for that, and I am still too short for that. So
I had a friend in college who his like life goal, which I honestly there was no way. His life goal is that he wanted to be Peter Pan at either Disneyland or Disney World, and he was like an inch too tall, and he was like legitimately upset about it, and like would get very mad if you brought it up. And he would bring it up though, so anyway, I think about that sometimes. It's like, my guy, that was never gonna happen.
Sometimes you just want to hurt your own feelings.
And he did regularly.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem. I think I'm 1 inch too short for the Mickey Mouse costume. So, I don't think they go any smaller than Mickey Mouse either. I could be wrong, but I'm definitely not tall enough to be a Disney princess, so...
My favorite is he'd always... I think one time he talked about how like he felt like it was like discriminating against tall people. And it's like, first of all, you want to play Peter Pan, who is an eternal child. Peter Pan can't be that tall. Anyway.
Height discrimination is a new one.
Height discrimination for being 1 inch too tall.
1 inch too tall.
And also, like, I can't remember what the height is for Peter Pan, but like he was like my height for reference.
Oh wow.
So Kels will understand.
Yeah, I know
this. That point of reference. So he was my height and was that upset. It's like, we're not that. I mean, not that tall, but also like, yeah, that's. Yeah, we're not. We're too tall to play children, sir.
Yeah. Weird.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm too. Actually, I think technically I'm just tall enough to play Alice from Alice in Wonderland. But like just tall enough. And if I remember correctly, Alice is like 12, so you know. Anyway.
You're too tall for Alice too?
No, I'm just barely tall enough.
Oh, you're barely.
I think she's the only one that I'm actually tall enough for.
That's
quick
crazy.
Google for Peter Pan. You can be between 5 foot and 5'6".
Oh, so I could technically barely be Peter Pan.
Technically, barely.
I could be Peter Pan if they like rolled up the pant legs, probably.
Hell yeah.
The height requirement I was looking for. I don't care about how tall you need to be on rides.
Or how hot you need to be on rides.
Yeah. Yeah, it's now because it's Alice. This is how tall you need to be for the ride. Not Faye's character. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Alice and Wendy, 4'10" to 5'4".
Ha!
Hmm.
I can play both. I think they must have adjusted these recently. Because it used to be that Alice was like just at 5 foot.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they've... if Mickey is shorter now too. Maybe I can be in the Mickey costume.
Let's see. These are all face characters, I think.
I should point out, I would do horribly in a giant fursuit. Or, you know, Mickey Mouse costume. So I don't want to be in the Mickey Mouse costume, but could I?
Mulan could be between 5'2" and 5'6".
Nope, still too short. Could never be my girl.
Oh,
interesting. So Tinkerbell and Periwinkle can be 4'10" to 5'2". The rest of the fairies are 5'2" to 5'5".
They're gonna tower over poor Tinkerbell.
Oh, there's more. There's even more fairies. Well, I guess, yeah, Vidya is gonna be taller, but it's just interesting. All of the female villains get put into one bucket. You can be and I can fit. I'm on the low end of this range, 5'6" to 5'7" or 5'10".
I guess if you are taller, you're scarier to children, maybe.
The only other bracket that I probably would fit in and could not do for obvious reasons, if you've ever seen a photo of me, are Tiana and Pocahontas.
Oh, come on, Lemur, tell us more. Why?
I'm also the same height in the height range for Esmeralda. The same reason why I could not play that character.
I'm trying to remember when I've ever seen Esmeralda at the parks. Maybe she's in one of the parades or something, and I generally don't wait around for those. I think we've talked about that.
Yeah, they've brought her back for like special event stuff. I've seen more recent photos. Now I want to know, how tall do you have to be to play Mickey? MICKEYMIUSE.
I started, in my head, I was like, YMCA, for absolutely no relevant reasons, so.
Alright, 4'8" to 5'2".
They did adjust it. It used to be you had to be 5'1". Where are they finding all these women that are 4'8"? I am always the shortest person in, like, every single fucking room. There's got to be a decent number of them living here, too. Like, come on, man. Where are all of you?
Damn.
Can't find anyone here. Anyways,
that attitude.
Look, they don't generally have networking events for very short women. So, you know. Unfortunately, we're gonna have problems meeting each other.
You can bite their ankles though, so.
Yeah. Look, I am very good at kicking shins. Like, unparalleled master at that. Also, if you need me to, like, crawl into a short cupboard or under a house or something, like, just don't ask me to get something off the top shelf. Anyway, let's get started on our game. I'm actually going to load it because we don't have a recap tonight because our normal mod is out. And they are amazing and generally give us that. And unfortunately, I don't fully remember what we're... Oh, yeah! He had his whole breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I can't get to
that's the problem with all of our brains are spaghetti, and it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy, Daily Vigil, was the former chief warder of Barclay Prison. He had, like, blocked out in his mind everything that had happened with his dismissal, because when his whole dismissal happened, he got dismissed because he was accused of helping Kazuma's father, the professor, escape execution. Because the whole thing was that when he went to do his job, the coffin was already closed, so he assumed that someone else had already checked to make sure the dude was dead inside. Come to find out, he was not. He opened up, later, coffin opened up, the dead came to life, and scared the shit out of a college student that was grave robbing, that we talked about in a previous case. Yeah, great times. He says he didn't do it, right? He didn't actually assist, but Barclay Prison basically didn't believe him and decided they were going to dismiss him. And he jumped out a window. And we made him remember that. And he didn't die, though. Like, even upon remembering. And obviously when he jumped out the window, because he's sitting right there. So, yeah, that was good. Maybe. We got the photo in evidence now that we took on the first day. Look at us. We're adorable. Other than that, I don't think... Did we do a lot? I'm sure we did other things.
I think we're in discovery right now, so we're doing more investigation. We're not in the middle of the trial. So we still... I don't believe we've officially proven... Oh, that was the wrong game. Von Zeeks. I was gonna say Edgeworth. Like, that's really not what we... Nope. Von Zeek's innocent. I don't think we've proven that.
No. We went back to the hotel for a little bit because that's how we got the photo. The judge has not been seen in a bit, which I was very disappointed about. Like, come on, sexy man. I don't want to see your father, Susato. I want to see your father's possible lover. Like, come on. All right. Well, it says that we haven't visited the prison governor's office in some time. So, you want to go check him out?
Sure.
No.
Ask some questions.
Gonna drink some water so I can be prepared to die while trying to do this accent.
2nd of November, Barclay Prison.
Remember,
Governor's
it's just
office.
Shrek.
Exactly.
It's literally just Shrek.
You could change your fate, would you? Ouch, back again, are you?
Yes. Hello.
He's gonna kill us. I've heard all about your investigations. Oh, that's right. I also kind of like leaned a little Canadian.
I mean, look, however it comes out, like maybe the man came from Canada somehow. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that kind of immigration was a thing yet. Probably not based on what I kind of know of history, but
Don't care.
You found him, eh, Vigil?
yes. Eh?
You-
Yes, luckily.
Well, anywho, the laddie doesn't work here no more. So your case, So your case is not to do with Barclay. Wouldn't you like? Jesus. Wouldn't they like you to get the wrong idea about that?
Of course, yes.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Vigil stopped working here 10 years ago, and now I'm not even having to do an
It's
accent.
contagious.
It's contagious.
It's contagious.
It's contagious.
Mr. Vigil stopped working here 10 years ago now, so... Oh, I forgot we had the small child with us.
Yes, we've seen his dismissal notice, haven't we? He was given the chop.
That's right, because when we were talking to, what's his bucket, we had to, like, flap our arms and be like, we're not talking about Iris's dad being dead.
Yes.
Because we had that whole discussion about how this poor child does not know.
Yes.
Still.
And we all sat there and went, well, maybe it's not her dad. Maybe there's like 800 other people named John H. Wilson.
Hmm.
Hi, Kimmer. You can very well. So, how about a wee handcuff biscuit?
A wee. Wee.
Oh, they really are like little handcuffs. As hard as irons, too.
I don't think that's a compliment, Iris.
Yeah, I don't really think Yield Dentist is gonna like that.
I will say, like,
Yield.
if you're going to dunk a biscuit into your tea, like, you do want a harder biscuit.
Yeah, because
So I'll give them that. Yeah, because otherwise, like, it just falls apart and then you have stuff floating in your tea. And that is just one of the grossest things. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
If you like stuff floating in your
Agreed.
tea, I'm sorry. We can't
Only
be
boba
friends.
tea.
yeah, that
only
shit don't
boba tea.
float though.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, true. That it don't flow. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Valid.
Like, I don't think I've
valid.
ever gotten a boba before and had it.
Just
Normally, I
float
have to
on
like
top?
fight the ice to
Yeah.
get the boba out.
True.
Can you think about, like, how annoying it would be to drink it if it all just kind of
Yes.
floated to the top and you had to chase it down?
God, that would suck. I like the struggle I have now. Um,
I like the struggle I have now. It's crazy.
yeah, it would be worse if it was floating.
Mm-hmm.
So what's brought you down here the day?
Biscuits. Well, there's something else we'd like to ask you about, actually.
Is that so?
We believe there might have been a document that disappeared from Genshin Asugi's cell. Oh, that's right! He had the paper that he wrote his supposed will on that then
Mhm.
disappeared. I remember this. I think it's been called the Asogi Papers or something. This man's going to kill
Oh
us.
shit, we gonna die. Yeah, we gonna die.
Time to get murdered. did I no say Gregson's death is not to do with things that might have happened at Barclay. Leave the past in the past, laddie. Let's not falter about wee irrelevant details.
His expressions changed completely. We're clearly onto something here.
Also, like, that is the most threatening way I've ever seen someone comb their hair.
I know, I was like looking at him like, okay, Danny Zuko or whatever.
He's gonna like take
Greece.
that comb and just like shove it down our throat or something, like.
Could break it in half and shank us.
There we go.
Oh no. What? 100%. It's probably as sharp as a knife, so he'll just slit our throat with that comb. Like, crazy.
That murder's botched execution and the whole miserable escape. They were Barclay's darkest hour, shocking embarrassment.
Because the convict had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean?
Aye. For shame. The coroner who confirmed the death of the man after this execution, Courtney Scythe. Red flag. And my chief warder at the time, Vigil, who was in charge of the whole affair.
But Mr. Vigil said he didn't know anything about it.
Rascal wouldn't say otherwise, eh? More handcuffs?
Oh, how could I say no? You can never have too much iron on your diet.
You can indeed, actually, but...
You very much can, but that's okay. When Mr. Vigil was handed his dismissal notice as a result of what had happened, he was so despairing he jumped out your office window, didn't he? I didn't like to say, but that's just Vigil trying to get out of it. Do you think we wouldn't have jumped from the shock of his crimes being exposed, eh? I do. Oh, no.
Wouldn't... Eh? Oh, no!
Welcome, chat, first of all. Also, I'm so sorry about your car.
So it must not be the battery is what it sounds like. I'm so sorry.
Oh. What a horrible timing, too, for it to happen on April Fool's Day. Truly the worst.
Oh no, that's the worst timing.
Not that there's a good time for car troubles, obviously.
Wow,
well,
that's crazy.
Hopefully you can find something at a reasonable price. Or make do without a car. You wouldn't say otherwise, though, would you?
Of course, I can shun all responsibility myself. I shouldn't have let him deceive me. Actually, there's barely anybody that kens what went on at the time now. We Gregson having been murdered with... I would assume that's with. What is it? We? Is it still we?
With.
With Gregson having been murdered and Dr. Scythe forbidden from having any visitors.
No visitors? Someone obviously doesn't want her giving anything away. I wonder who. We've never had a problem with anyone before, ever.
Oh, we're not going home empty-handed.
Yeah, of course not. Here's more...
That was so threatening.
And I wouldn't dream of sending you packing with Nout Kimmer. Here, take a handcuff or two.
Well, it would be rude to say no. Wouldn't you want to become an Emic?
You wouldn't want to become a Nigu, sorry.
I suppose if there's anybody who might still can about what happened back then, it'd be the last from the forensic division, Maria Gorey.
Maria Gorey?
Scythe's daughter. Ooh. She didn't have no more, just the one.
I mean, it is hard to be a career woman and a mother, so I get it.
But the wee Barons followed in her mom's footsteps. You didn't ever see her without a scalpel in her hand.
Healthy thing
very
for a child.
Just walking around with a knife.
I want to see, where's our autopsy report? Yep, and she was the coroner. Oh.
Who was this again?
I don't remember. I just know it wasn't me. Or I don't think it was me, but I don't think if it was, I should necessarily play her. I can if we'd like, but...
Lana, you were Dr. Scythe, right?
I was Dr. Scythe, so maybe it was Kells. Or you.
Like, maybe it was me, because I would have picked her up if you were talking as Dr. Scythe.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. If the scene is too me-focused, we can switch. Like, when she comes back. Mama, what is this?
Well, where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama? Dr. Scythe's daughter, Maria Gorey. We could do with talking to her. Alright, let's ask about her. So, she's Dr. Scythe's daughter, but her surname is Gorey?
There's some family history, I'm sure, but I didn't ken in the ins and outs of it.
The ins and outs.
The ins and outs. She grew up watching her mom work the bodies of folk who died in strange circumstances. Jesus. And decided to do the same with her own life. I cannot understand it myself.
Okay. Do we have Scythe in our list? I don't think we do. I don't remember how old she was.
No idea. Perhaps she was driven by a deep respect for her mother. Perhaps. Anywho, she was in charge of Gregson's autopsy, I believe.
Right. And the coroner responsible for this incomplete report. Well, it's a possibility. She's like 12, so...
Someone told me once that the wee lassie always loved her mom's stories about cutting up bodies. What?
There are two questions I have. Like, her liking those, and her mother thinking those were age appropriate.
Also, his little pin looks like a jail cell about.
It's
anyway.
Cute. Little vent.
Little vent, yeah.
There's even a rumor that she used to listen to the funeral march as a lullaby.
Nothing like a good dirge to put you to sleep.
Well then, perhaps her mother might have told her about the autopsy from the case 10 years ago. I'd say there's a fighting chance at least. After all, that was a life-changing case for all of us.
We really need to speak to Miss Gorey herself about this, I think. Well, thank you very much.
I'm no happy about any part of this. It took years for Londoners to finally forget the whole professor business. Can you not gee up on this, laddie? Can you not give up on this, laddie?
Yep.
Stop asking pointless questions.
I'm sorry. I don't like dredging
we
up.
wanna know.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, people. You have piping hot tea. It doesn't matter that I wasn't here for it. You have a social obligation to spill the tea. I'm sorry. I don't like dredging up these painful memories for everyone.
Can you not just stay away, no? Leave me alone and dinna come back here, eh?
Let's ask about the Asogi papers.
Yeah, it's gonna go well for us. He already wants us to leave. How'd you come to ken about that, laddie? There's no many folk even here in the prison who've heard of these papers. Those papers.
Well, I can't tell him Mr. Vigil told me.
I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir.
We've been led to believe that the papers are actually a last will and testament. Is that right? The professor's, or rather, Genshin Asogi's...
Aye, that's right. You're well informed, Jimmy.
My name is nowhere close to Jimmy.
Jimmy!
I don't know if that's one for the racism count, but...
Jimmy.
Oh, is
Or I think it's just like a nickname that, like, you know how like older men call like younger people like sport or buddy, or you know?
Yeah.
It might be just like, hey, Jimmy boy, like, you know, like.
I have no idea. Oh, is that the end of the silent treatment? But then, after the convict's execution, it mysteriously vanished from his cell, didn't it?
Havers, no. You're off at half cock there. I think you didn't I quite get your facts straight.
He said cock. Anyway.
I know, and I didn't even make a joke about it. I was very proud of myself.
Right, I was like, you're so calm.
It was there in the cell, exactly where it should have been.
Oh, not what we heard elsewhere. Can we see him?
Let me just see what... have a wee look Hulk around in here. Jesus. I'm sure I can find it. I'm so excited to never have to talk to this man ever again. Here ye are. See?
The last will and testament of Genshin Asogi, written with a calligraphy brush.
Of course, I can't read a word of those Japanese squiggles. Oof. But I mind it says he leaves all of his worldly possessions to his son back in his homeland. Yes, that's correct. That's the gist of it.
Love that. So these are the Asogi papers?
Aye, of course they are. Papers written by Asogi. No doubt about it.
Okay, the way that we're saying this makes me question whether they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
I just got like a weird cramp in my leg. I'm dying a little bit. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Well, if anyone could read it, though, it would be us.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying? So we could tell if it was forged or not.
Well, yeah. I think it's less
like,
of that.
Who else here knows Japanese?
Well, like,
you know?
There was 3 of them, right? So, technically, there's still someone who could have forged it, because there was the judge, Jigoku, and Mikotoba? Mikotoba, there we go.
Toba.
So, technically, I mean, it still could be a forgery.
Are they all in on it?
Like, I'm wondering, this seems like, if you look at this from Kazuma's perspective, he's been really fucking into trying to figure out what happened, which means I don't think he believes the, like, story that he knows, or that we know. So something went weird. I mean, something went weird anyways, right? We don't necessarily think that maybe he was either the professor or that he died. I mean, he's dead now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question on that one, but, you know. Like, something's not right here. Something isn't adding up, so... I don't know, man.
Well, there's no mystery here, laddie. That's your lot. After all this, Starmish, that slayster of an execution, we sent the man's possessions back to his clan in Japan, and that was the end of it. I think we ought to make a record of this, Mr. Naruhodo, just in case.
We're not just taking it with us?
Yeah, why not? Why can't we just have it? You can't read it.
Yeah.
One thing before you go on your way, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
Don't ever come back. Those papers are not to do with Gregson's death. I preferred if you didn't make no mention of them outside this office. Or rather, I wouldn't just prefer it. I consider it an order from the highest levels of our government.
You don't seem like you are qualified to give that order, so...
Also, it's not our government, comrade.
Yeah.
Oh,
I understand.
Mic drop.
Look, I
Mic
will keep
drop.
it secret until one of two things. Someone hot asks me for it, or I find it useful.
Trust the room.
Until it's useful for us.
Exactly. You know.
It'll be our little secret.
Or literally just that
Until
someone
it's not.
hot asks me for it.
Someone who might be like across the room from me at some point.
Exactly. So where do we think we can
For
find
some
her?
reason.
Let's go to Lord Chief Justice's office. Because if I remember correctly, that's where the forensic science thing was. I don't remember. 2nd of November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office.
No arguments, Prosecutor Asogi. Jesus. You will continue with the trial exactly as I instructed. Is that clear? Perfectly. It's Kazuma-sama.
Defying Lord Strongheart by the sound of it. He never did know when to back down. It's hot.
Hot.
On your way now, Asogi.
No, he can stay.
My lord.
But this is such a nice view.
Right? We could fuck on the desk that now we can't see because of Kazuma's very broad
Aw.
shoulders.
I love that.
Kazuma. No, wait.
No, stay here.
But the desk.
Why?
But the desk.
But the
is
desk.
wild.
He left
Like
without
the
saying a
desk.
word.
That's so hot of him.
Yes, what are you doing here?
Oh, well, I was just hoping to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind.
I wanted Von Zeke's trial concluded today.
Dude, we almost killed a man in that courtroom. Like, sorry.
But Prosecutor Asogi's unwelcome inquiries are going to make it take longer than necessary.
Unwelcome inquiries. Now, what exactly do you mean by that?
As a result, I'm losing even more precious time. Currently 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 41 seconds, 42, 43.
Oh shit.
Then we must resolve everything before 3 hours have passed, Mr. Naruhodo.
Why 3 hours? In a miraculous not even 5 minutes? Anyway, I can't let the man's obvious bad mood put me off. I need information. And I will get it. Mostly because you sent away my hot boyfriend. And now I can't fantasize about your desk. Does Prosecutor Asogi believe that Lord Von Zeeks is the Reaper?
I wouldn't know. It was 10 years ago, in that fateful closed trial, that Lord von Zieks made a name for himself among the judiciary. But the next trial he fought, he lost. It meant the ringleader of a criminal organization was acquitted, thanks to all the jurors being under duress.
But that's awful.
The man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just 3 days.
Oh no.
Yes, let me see. He died in a rock slide at his place of work, I believe.
Yeah, that seems like something normal that a teenager would put together.
Oh yeah.
Correct. That was the inauguration of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Like, I'd like to point out, not even like a normal teenager. What? Von Zieks is, let's see how old he actually is. Okay, so he's 33 right now. So I guess he wasn't a teenager 10 years ago. He's 23, mourning his brother and his dear friend who supposedly killed his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we think he's over here playing with rocks to kill off a man? Like, come on.
No.
Press X to doubt here. And people believed Lord von Zieks was responsible?
He was brought to trial himself. But it was shown to have been an accident.
So he must have had a solid alibi then.
Nevertheless, the mysterious deaths continued. In total, 16 persons perished in unusual circumstances, ostensibly at the hand of the Reaper. That's a long run of coincidences. Well, the Reaper's true identity may well be revealed by this trial. And the impact of that revelation would have on the British public cannot be understated.
Is that why it's a closed trial?
Precisely. This country hasn't seen a closed trial for 10 years.
So the last one was the professor's? The trial of Genshi Nasuki?
Correct.
Actually, we heard that originally you were going to prosecute that trial yourself, Lord Strongheart.
Von Zieks entreated me to relinquish the prosecution to him, that he might avenge his brother's death.
And you went, yeah, totally, legit. No conflict of interest there.
And here we are, 10 years later. With the son of the man von Zieks had condemned, now looking to avenge his father's death in the same way.
They do say that what goes around comes around.
However, it would seem that the new young prosecutor is harboring some ulterior motive as well.
Kazuma is.
I like my organization to run smoothly in the exact manner that I prescribe. As with the giant clock in here, it won't tolerate a single cog being out of step with the others.
Ah, so that's what all these gears are about in here.
If the young man refuses to mesh with other parts of my great machine, I will be forced to take steps.
What do you mean?
Have him killed. Not something with which you need to concern yourself.
No, I kind of feel like it should be a concern for me.
What if I'm already concerned?
Yeah,
But that.
exactly. Like, hello? Look, if you're gonna kill him in bed, just make sure I'm not in it. Please and thank you.
In any case, all your questions will be answered tomorrow.
I have a weird conspiracy theory.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of goes off of like the Clint isn't dead theory that we kind of had I think last time. Where if Clint is the Reaper, like I've been trying to figure out like why is it only Von Zeke's cases that are being, that the victims that were the victims of the Reaper are coming off of. But it makes sense because Clint knows his brother isn't corrupt. So maybe this is his way of kind of cleaning up the London underworld in a way, because he knows that, or he's basically extrapolating that if Von Zeeks doesn't declare them guilty, that they must be guilty and they must have gotten off in different means. And it would also kind of make sense why he couldn't follow them across country borders, because if he's dead, he can't get into the country because he's got no identification. I don't know. It's conspiracy theory. I have no idea. So
that makes sense, though.
So
I mean,
far.
you haven't. There have been times where you like have been right.
I do. Like the name Ashley, one whole time. I will live off of that moment for decades to come.
It's like, I remember when I predicted Ashley.
Exactly, I was right on a character's name one whole entire time. I only made a running joke of it for entire streams. But I was right. Guess who was right?
Now I shall have to ask you to excuse me. As of this moment, I've been delayed from attending my next meeting by precisely 3 hours.
Okay, well that seems like a you problem, but...
Oh my, that's a long time. And I hold you entirely responsible.
Well, fuck you too. Even though we miraculously managed to fit everything into not even 5 minutes? I wonder if you might agree to us, talking with Prosecutor Asogi? Why are we asking him? He's not Kazuma's mom.
Yeah, that's not your mama.
Like, come on, man.
Discussions between the defense and the prosecution outside the courtroom are generally frowned upon. What if we're not talking about the case?
Exactly.
What if there's a table involved?
Yeah. Or your desk. You just have to leave.
However, I will make an exception in this case. Now go. You can find him in his office.
He has an office? Oh,
Perfect.
thank you.
Oh, hell yeah. That has a desk, too.
Exactly. We can make this work.
Jesus. Let's go see him at once, Mr. Naruhodo.
Kazuma's my best friend in the world. And lover. But I'm really not at all sure I know how to talk to him at the moment. Alright. Well, let's get out of here. Alright. Hi, Kazuma. So it's not Kazuma's office, it's Von Zeeks' office that he's just using.
Yeah, makes sense.
2nd of November, prosecutor's office. Oh, look, he's got a little diorama.
Oh, he's thinking. He's thinking. Wait.
Eh?
Those dolls. Exactly like one of our clues. But from the... Oh.
Or maybe they don't up close. We don't know. But yeah, from here it kind of looks like it. Yeah. So, this is the office of Prosecutor Asogi now, is it?
Kazuma-sama is doing so well for himself. She crying.
Even though he's always forced to kneel on the floor Japanese style in that dark corner?
It's his habit.
That's so specific.
It's his habit to say the style whenever he's working.
Hey, gorgeous. Okay, forget the desk. Up against the windows. Like, come on.
Windows too.
Like,
Or next to the swords.
yeah, I mean, we could use the swords. I'm not opposed.
Use the swords.
Kazuma.
I thought it wouldn't be long before you paid me a visit, Ryunosuke.
Yeah, I have ideas already. Look, there's even wine.
Ew.
Susato, I'm about to do unspeakable things to your brother, so you may want to leave. And please take Iris with you, because I just remembered we have her.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's not for babies. I was right about what I said, wasn't I?
Sorry?
That you have all the makings of a great defense lawyer.
Every time he pays us a compliment, I keep expecting it to, like, be a backhanded one because of Von
That's what we're
Zeke.
used to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, where's the joke here?
Mm-hmm. Where's the jab at our expense? Where's, yeah,
Well, I
belittling.
always believed that you'd fulfill your dream of advocating in the British courts. Okay, we're flirting really awkwardly. Like, let's get this over with. I just never imagined for 1 second that it would be as a prosecutor.
Seeing you stand in a foreign courtroom so gallantly, realizing your dreams, Kazuma-sama. I'm truly happy for you. And I'm truly thankful to you, Judicial Assistant Mikotoba.
Weird thing for brother and sister to say, but whatever.
Ryunosuke. I always thought it would be fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system together, a little together.
Yeah, that was how you got me to live in your closet for like 3 days. 2 weeks, however long it was.
This isn't quite how I envisaged it, but...
Was I living in your closet the whole time? Like, I want to know what the original plan was here. Like, did he just assume I would walk off of the dock in Britain and they'd be like, oh yeah, you brought a friend? That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, what was the plan? Is there a massive suitcase that you were going to wheel me out in? Like, was I going to sit on your shoulders and we were going to have just a giant trench coat?
Yeah, that sounds about correct. I suppose it's just another twist of fate.
I've learned a lot of things during my time in London. About how Susato-san's father was himself a visiting student here once, along with Judge Jugoku, and about what happened with your father.
Then you'll have no difficulty understanding why I had no choice, why I had to find a way to get to Britain as a visiting student myself.
I want to hear it from you, Kazuma.
As you wish, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Again, we don't have to say my whole name every time, man. We are buddies. Lovers.
Like, we're not, actually. I'm gonna keep it real professional with you to drive you nuts.
This is the fucking worst foreplay I've ever heard. It's getting on for a year now, since what happened on the SS Buria. We were heading across the oceans from Japan to Great Britain, when a bizarre series... I assume that's supposed to be series and not serious, but when a bizarre series of coincidences led to those tragic events. I thought I'd lost my lover forever. Doing some editing here, you know, just figuring out what the original translation was as I go.
You're so brave.
I know.
I must have been unconscious for a long time. When I awoke, I was lying in a bed. It was a narrow little room. There was a posy of flowers by the pillow. It took me a little while to realize that I was in the cabin of a ship. I slipped out of the room and headed up onto the deck. Everyone screamed because they thought I was what they called a zombie.
And that was when I learned that English word. Were you already suffering from amnesia at that point?
Yes. I didn't know what had happened or where I was. There was just this voice in my head. There's something you have to do, something no one else can know about. Go to Great Britain. Your task awaits you there.
Again, you probably, if you get something so, like, deeply, don't tell anyone, but do this, maybe don't follow the voice. Like, if you don't know what you're going to do, that sounds like brainwashing, or you've had a curse laid on you, like...
Yeah. No way it's that serious.
Yeah.
It was a calling I couldn't ignore. It compelled me relentlessly. Out on deck, I saw that I was on a huge steamship and we were docked in a port. It must have been Hong Kong.
Yes, it must have been. Presumably just before they were due to carry your body off the ship.
I had no idea of the situation, but I did have the feeling that this was in some way my last chance. So I concealed myself among the disembarking passengers and went ashore. Then I disappeared into the crowded streets of that foreign port city, so I could plan my onward journey to Great Britain.
Ironically, if you just stayed on the ship, you would have also gotten there with us. We might have called you a zombie and freaked out, but...
We would have gotten over it pretty quick.
Exactly, you know, like, look, maybe you're a zombie, but, you know, I can still suck your dick, so...
Just under a year ago, with all my past memories lost to me, I was left behind in Hong Kong. Everything was foreign to me. The sights, the sounds, the smells. My head reeled. I was truly at a loss. I realize now that I had escaped as a dead man, with nothing but the clothes on my back. No money, of course. Oh, how terrifying for you. Luckily, though, I had 2 feathers in my cap. One of them was called macaroni.
One being your knowledge of English, I suppose. Seriously, that's
right.
like the best place you could stop over there.
That's right, and on the back of that, I was able to pick up some work as a deckhand on a cargo ship. Eventually, after calling at countless ports, I finally arrived at Dover. That must have been some 3 months ago now.
Your formidable tenacity of purpose showing itself again. I mean, the man had lost his memory and had literally nothing to his name. But he still managed to make his way to London on the opposite side of the world.
Of course, I had no idea why I'd moved heaven and earth to get here at that point.
So, how did you end up becoming Lord Von Zeke's apprentice then?
That can only be called an extraordinary stroke of luck, really. You see, I was stopped at the border because I had no papers.
Yeah?
They took me straight to Scotland Yard. And by sheer coincidence, Lord Strongheart was there to attend a meeting.
I'm sure it was just 100% sheer coincidence. Anytime there's a coincidence in this game, it's like, was it?
Yeah.
Was it a coincidence?
That's when the second feather in my cap came into play. Would that have been your knowledge of the law? Yes, exactly. Lord Strongheart was curious about an Easterner with intimate knowledge of British law. Yeah, that would be kind of weird. Some random dude hopping off a boat who knows everything.
Details.
A little sus. He took me back with him to the Supreme Court and assigned me to the prosecutor's office.
And then 9 days ago, you finally got your memory back. After the trial involving Trevor, there's a lot of questions as to why you decided to wear a mask until then, but, you know. It was hot. We could have done stuff with the mask.
He had an aesthetic to uphold. Yes, I did.
Ever since I first met you at Yume, you talked about your dream.
Mark my words, Ryunosuke. I'll be chosen as a visiting student and make my way to Great Britain someday.
Did you know the entire time about what happened to your father here?
16 years ago.
Aww.
When my father left on that exciting trip to Great Britain, I was just a boy. We took a photograph together the day before his departure. This is my last memory of him. But what I remember most about my father is his unswerving sense of justice. Could be unnerving too, you don't know.
Yeah.
6 years after he left, a gentleman called our family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and had passed away. It was Professor Mikotoba, your father, Susato-san.
I'm trying to understand, like, how irresponsible you have to be as a parent to go, you know what? I'm going to go live in a foreign country for 6 years of my life while I have small children at home. That'll be totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? You have small children. Do you know how long 6 years is in childhood development? Like, your child does not know you after 6 years.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
Oh my. Ever since then, the professor was very good to me. He even helped fund my university education at Yume. I'll be forever in his debt. But nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he told me. Oh. Then, one day, a letter arrived at our house from Britain. There were no indication of the sender, so I opened it, assuming it was from an old acquaintance of my father. What I read in that letter changed my entire life.
What did it say?
It said that my father had been a mass murderer, and the writer cursed the Asogi name.
Okay, there's a very short list of people who would have known the Asogi name.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. As a result of that letter, I found out what had been hidden from me all those years. Presumably, the letter was sent from a relative of one of the victims. If whoever it was had been a member of the judiciary, he could have been present at the closed trial. The letter revealed that my father had been sentenced to death, executed for being a killer.
I am so sorry you had to find out that way.
I imagine the British government did its very best to silence whoever sent that letter. But someone who knew the truth and couldn't bear the resentment was always going to be a problem. But still, It couldn't have been written by anyone. Why would you believe... But it could have been written by anyone. Why would you believe it? There was a newspaper cutting included with the letter. It was the first I'd heard of the professor and his terrible killing spree. Well, what did my father have to say about the letter?
Okay, I'm still trying to figure out, like, it comes with... So he gets this letter, right? It comes with a newspaper clipping. But the newspaper clipping can't say that it's Genshin Asogi. It just has to call him the professor. Kazuma, I get that, like, you were, I assume, a teenager, but, like, seems like confirmation bias there.
I couldn't bring myself to show it to him.
What? Why not?
Because he deliberately concealed the truth from me by telling me my father was taken by a fatal illness. That couldn't have been easy for him, and he'd done it out of consideration for my feelings.
Oh.
So instead, I showed the letter to Judge Jigoku.
To the other visiting student.
He faltered for the briefest of moments, but then he just laughed the letter off. I'm sure that made you feel good. But in that moment, I saw it on his face. Come here, Maverick. Oh, you sit with us? You wanna help me read? Ow. Maybe not hit me. Ow. He was most... Ow. Undeadably shocked, shaken momentarily before recovering his poise. A year later, my bereaved mother succumbed to the strain of grief, and she too passed away. That's when I made up my mind that one day, without fail, I would cross the sea to Britain and seek the truth for myself. And the truth about my father, Genshin Asogi. And I wouldn't let anyone stand in my way.
I will give you this. You did not let anyone stand in your way, including death.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
Alright.
What we learned today in court turned things completely on their head. It was an impressive piece of lawyering, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Again, you do not have to say my full name every single time.
The full name is
yeah,
very
that's gonna
funny.
get very old in bed.
Exactly, like, you have a mouth that can do other things, I promise you, like...
Meow.
Lord Von Zeeks isn't the Reaper, you know. I almost don't want to believe it myself, but it turns out that Inspector Gregson himself, the victim, was...
It's clear that the inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along.
Okay, well, I hadn't pieced that one together, but yes, sure, it's clear. What? You mean, you knew?
The real question is, who's been giving the orders to the inspector? Yes, Barack Von Zeeks is the real Reaper. And I know that 10 years ago, it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and sent him to his grave. No, he was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame.
I don't know that we want to have this argument with him. If I'm being 100% honest. Like, beat him in court, yes, right? That seems like the way to kind of do it. Because us sitting here going, nuh-uh, is just going to make him mad. And as much as I love some good makeup sex, like, maybe now's not the time.
Ultimately, it's the people who condemn people. The law is just a tool they use to do it.
really weird thing for a law student to say. And a prosecutor.
And when a man condemns another, he must take responsibility for his actions. Of course he must. But I know for certain that my father would never have taken another man's life.
Kazuma.
On the contrary, my father's life was taken by the Reaper.
Alright, well, we had a fun conversation here. Would you like to see your father's last will and testament? Because the guy who gave it to me pissed me off and told me I couldn't share it with anyone. Kazuma, what do you make of this? I'm gonna guess he does not care. Well, no, he does not care.
Oh, yeah. One place where defense lawyers and prosecutors should discuss evidence, and that is the courtroom.
How dare you?
So it seems
He
you're
is
still
so honor-bound.
confused by the situation.
I'm so sorry for trying to give you your father's last will and testament that is not in any way, shape, or form evidence.
That's what I make of it.
I get the feeling my friend's always going to have the edge over me, isn't he? Look, we can change that, Ryunosuke. We just need some new moves. Alright, I don't have anything else to talk about here. Are you sure we've asked everything we need to? He doesn't have anything to converse about. I'm gonna present. Is there anything that...
Don't worry about the recap, chat. I'm so sorry about your car.
Yeah, absolutely, it's not.
Yeah.
That
Your
is
car is more
nothing.
important.
I don't know. How about that? Nope, he doesn't care about that. How about the armband? Do you like the armband? Do you think it looks cute on me?
Don't think he's gonna care.
He does! Kazuma, this is your armband. Please don't ask for it back. It's like the only thing that makes me look legitimate in the courtroom.
Actually, I think it's yours now.
Yay, we're married. He gave me a very large ring.
Marriage.
Sorry?
Possession is, 7/10 of the law.
Yeah, something like
So-
that.
You're the defense lawyer. You have a talent for it. I've always known that you would. Did you? Are you just blowing smoke up his ass?
Like, sir, you did watch me in that first trial, right? There could not have been a moment that you sat there and went, really? Is cocaine really what you wanted to take before this trial?
And now you've chosen to take that path in life.
I'm really curious whether we'll ever find out what Ryunosuke's original, career choice was.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he wasn't a law student. Which is, the whole reason why defending ourselves was just a wild decision anyways to begin with. But, where did our lives go wrong? Would we have been, a nice little English scholar or something? Maybe we could have made the, stories of Herlock Sholmes.
As your friend, I couldn't be happier for you. Or more proud.
And as your lover, you've never seen anything hotter, right?
Oh my god.
Kazuma.
No, sorry. I was like, me!
Me!
Me, Kazuma. Sorry.
Ah.
I'm talking so much, y'all. I just assumed.
This
So
one is
you keep a hold of that. Besides, I'm a prosecutor now. That armband would have no meaning for me.
Dude, you have prosecuted one whole trial. Well, if you're sure. Thank you, my lover. Literally, I got nothing else to ask this man. I don't know, we're gonna leave. Hey, Mr. Von Ziegs. Do you want to say anything to me? Did we talk to you last time? We did talk to you last time.
Yes, we did. I
forgot
remember that
about
was
that.
one of the last things we did. One of the last things we
mean, are you sure that we have asked everything? What else do you want me to ask about?
The hair?
Yeah. How do you think of this? Yeah, he doesn't care. He's like, yes, that's evidence. How do you like this photo of us? He does not care about that either. Despite the fact that we're cute. Have you seen the paper? I was shocked when I found out they were related to the case. The Red-Headed League, I mean.
Personally, it wasn't their plan to swindle everyone that surprised me. It was the fact that so many red-headed people gathered from all over London that day.
A certain great detective being among them. Artificially red-headed.
Details. I expect those two are in their cells as we speak, wishing they'd never dreamt of their little plan.
Or maybe they're busy plotting their next one. Really, that was it? And you wanted to talk about that evidence? There's only one place, except for if I like stupid evidence. Then it's great. Kazuma, if I have to sit here and ask you about every single fucking piece of evidence, here's a gun, please shoot me with it. Oh, he does have something to say about that.
The Reaper, at last I get to take my revenge.
Kazuma, please give the gun back.
Buddy?
I'm so sorry for giving that to you.
Down.
It's mine now again. Lord Von Zieks isn't responsible for your father's death. And he's not the Reaper. He's the defendant and deserving of a fair trial.
You mean like the one my father had? It's a closed trial now, too. The conditions are exactly as they were 10 years ago. Ugh. And even if it ruffles some feathers, I have a plan to show that man for what he really is.
Kazuma. What is your plan? Do you want to discuss your plan with me? No.
I don't think he's gonna tell us.
How about this lady? Nope. Do you think I'd be hot as a redhead? Does not care about that either. How about a toy? Nope. You know what? We're gonna look at his office instead. Because I forgot I could do that. Let's look at his little diorama. What the?
It's a scale model of the crime scene.
Oh. Yeah, I realized that. Does the prosecution office make a model of the scene for every case?
Apparently so.
So someone really likes doing crafts with popsicle sticks is what I'm hearing.
Sometimes it helps to visualize it. It helps to visualize things better and notice things you hadn't spotted before.
Truly the difference between the prosecution and defense every time, like even this many years in the past, is that the prosecution has money. If I wanted to do this, I'd have to convince Sholmes and Iris to, like, take positions.
Yeah. Actually, the miniature notice board is my work.
Aw, be honest. You enjoyed making that. So he's good with his hands.
He loves arts and crafts.
Exactly. You got anything out on your desk? No? Casks floor to ceiling, just like the last time we were here. Hallowed barrels, I suppose.
They're arranged according to vintage, flavor, and region. Every week, they're all taken out and put back in order.
What? Every week?
Lord Von Zieks can't seem to settle on a perfect way of arranging them, you see. Vintage flavor and region don't neatly coincide. That's the trouble.
Gosh, being his apprentice must be a real challenge.
Actually, no.
Oh?
He considers the task too important to entrust to anybody else. He does it entirely on his own.
Damn.
So he's a barrel of laughs here and in the court then. Do you just keep the bats in here for fun?
For the aesthetic.
What?
You disturbed the bats, didn't you? Fitting companions of Lord Von Zieks, wouldn't you say?
Actually, I've seen things flying in Lord Strongheart's office too. Doves, I think?
Perhaps you have to like birds to attain rank in the judiciary here.
I love how we're just shit-talking the entire judiciary, probably in Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Although bats aren't birds, of course.
How about a sparrow for you?
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. Sorry. Just thinking out loud. Do you know who the man in the portrait is? The hot one? The hot sibling?
Why would I?
What? But you're Lord Von Zieks' apprentice.
Yes, apprentice. Not friend.
Yes, that's because he doesn't have that word in his vocabulary.
And during the time I was suffering from amnesia, I didn't even notice that picture.
The massive picture on the wall, you were like, yeah, that's a wall.
Oh, he was so filled with rage that he couldn't see anything else.
I've lost my memory,
Blinded
and
by
therefore I've forgotten what a picture is.
Yep.
I just thought it was
blinded by rage.
real fucking weird wallpaper. Oh, really? I mean, it's not the smallest picture.
I wouldn't have the first idea of what that man decorates his office with.
Okay, well.
Is he?
There's Lord Von Zieks' incredibly stylish desk.
It's not my style, though.
Wanna fuck on it? No, I noticed you've been working at the little table on the floor, kneeling down Seiza style. I thought it was some kind of punishment set up by Lord Von Zieks when I first saw it.
I find it the most comfortable way to work.
I can't do it. After a couple of minutes of sitting with my legs folded under me, they start to go tingly.
Don't exaggerate, Ryunosuke. We both know you can't even manage a minute.
Ouch! Leave me alone!
Roasted.
How dare you? Care to have a drink? Lord Von Zieks' fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles all neatly lined up.
Yes, he's extremely particular about that. He has a strict regime for everything, from storage of the casks to the bottling of their contents.
Gosh, you must be having a really tough time of it being his apprentice.
Actually, no.
Oh?
He's so particular about it all that he refuses to let anybody else touch any of it. Yeah.
The look on his face, that man is dead inside. Like, he is so over this shit.
So it's been quite easy for me, in fact.
Talk about weird. I don't think I get to talk about him being weird, sadly. Alright, well, investigating wasn't doing it. So I guess we'll go back to fucking evidence. How about a letter of introduction? Nope, don't care about that. For some reason you think that's evidence. That's just a note. How about a candle? Nope. There's 3 candles. We could, like, all sit here and, like, wave it and, you know, sing a song or... Nope, don't care about that one. There's gotta be something I'm missing. How about the autopsy report? This came up in the trial, didn't it? As something a little dubious, I mean. The fact that no time of death was recorded on Inspector Gregson's autopsy report.
Yes, there were some unexpected turns in the courtroom earlier. The suggestion you came up with certainly took everyone by surprise. The idea that the victim died the previous day at some other location is quite something.
Well, considering when the pocket watch had stopped and the scorch marks on the candle, it's certainly a distinct possibility. The evidence and the scene both point to it.
To be honest, it bothered me too. So I paid a visit to the autopsy room earlier. The coroner responsible wasn't there, but I got a name. It's Dr. Gorey.
Yeah, I got a name too. It was written on the top of the fucking report, man. Didn't take a prosecutor to figure that out.
If it wouldn't be trouble to you, Kazuma-sama, we'd very much like to speak with the coroner, too.
Is that what we were waiting for?
Of course, the last thing I want is for anything to be brushed under the carpet. Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory is behind Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery? By Barclay Prison, you mean?
Ah, you know it, don't you? The prison where my father was incarcerated and robbed of his life?
No, I hadn't heard of it.
Kazuma-sama.
We didn't talk about it during the trial. Well, thank you. We'll pay a visit to the laboratory later today. Yay!
Ryunosuke.
Yes, we can fuck on your desk. Both the tall or the small one. I'll leave it up to you.
I want to thank you.
What for?
For this.
You can get a sword.
You safeguarded the soul of the Asogi clan.
But dude, I got to carry around a sword everywhere. It was the coolest, year of my life. Well, it is a famous sword that's been in your family for generations. My only slight regret is that I never got the chance to draw it before I returned it to you.
Damn.
Karuma is said to have been forged by a master swordsmith during the Shengoku Warring States period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom were expert swordsmen.
Well then, you're a chip off the old block, I'd say.
This blade, Karuma, is the symbol of the Asogi clan's honor and might. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name for a surname.
Damn.
Really? Karuma. It does sound formidable, that's for sure. Okay, so Franziska von Karma comes from Kazuma's line?
Franziska von
Karma.
Karma.
Amazing.
Oh.
16 years ago, when my father was a visiting student here in London, he had this sword forever at his side. Which is why it means so much to me that I have it by my side again now, too. And that is all thanks to you.
It was an honor. And anytime you ask, yes, I will play with your sword. I'll even give you a choice which one.
Now, I have preparations to make for tomorrow. Perhaps I said a little too much.
Kazuma, you've changed.
No, Ryunosuke, I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed.
Oh shit. That's a plot twist.
I can completely understand your
that's me.
Oops, sorry.
I can completely understand your resentment of Lord Von Zeke's, given what happened. But the fact is, those events and this case are, well...
Unrelated. Is that what you want to say? How can you be so sure?
What do you mean?
Never mind. That man is the Reaper, and it's for that reason that the inspector was killed. And I'm going to prove as much in court tomorrow, by whatever means necessary.
I can't let you do that, Kazuma. As is evident by the fact that you literally asked me to be his defense attorney. Like, if you wanted him to suffer, you maybe should not have asked me to be his defense attorney. You probably could have thrown him in jail and, got him convicted today.
Mm-hmm. Oops. I know you'll do what you have to as a lawyer. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I won't be taking any prisoners in the courtroom.
I would expect nothing less.
Until now, or until tomorrow then, in the Old Bailey.
Alright, now we can go. Alright. Let's go meet our coroner. Oh, look, she's added dolls! That's so cute!
Dollies.
2nd of
I would
November.
like to officially request that Mana takes this character over.
You good with that, Mana?
Sure.
I just spent so much time talking. To myself and just talking.
2nd of November, Forensics Laboratory. This place really is creepy, isn't it?
Well, being a dead room, it's probably full of spirits of the dissected.
But actually, there's a rather pleasing scent of roses in the air.
Well, being a dead room, coroner probably needs a bold scent like that to mask the odor of death.
Iris,
You're making her cry.
do you think maybe we could change the subject?
Wow, you're making more Susato cry. Oh shit.
What was that?
Yeah, this is where we run.
Dr. Gory?
What?
That noise before?
Oh, I was sharpening my tools. I'd be dead meat if I didn't keep a perfectly keen edge on them.
Right.
When following the collagen fibers in the dermis, an expertly sharpened scalpel cuts like cheese. Would you like a demonstration? Oh, Yes, please. I'd love to see.
Iris has made a new friend. The adults
Hell
in here are
no.
on the floor going, "Oh my god, we need to go."
Then I think you'll do nicely.
Huh? No, I wouldn't do nicely at all. I mean, maybe some other time.
No. Tisk.
Is that a tut? Well,
That's crazy.
we came here to ask questions, so...
Hmm.
We have actually met before. I'm a lawyer, if you remember.
You're not dead yet.
What?
So Mama said I wasn't to cut you open. She's so strict about things like that.
Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Scythe has some scruples, at least.
Oh dear. It looks like she's not interested in talking to us, for the time being anyway.
For the time being? You mean, until we die? I hope that's a ways off. Sorry, but I wasn't planning on dying anytime soon.
Tisk.
Surely there's some less drastic way of making her listen. What do I have? How would you feel about red hair? Hi, ma'am. Would you like to see your own report? Dr. Gory, we actually came here to ask you about this.
Oh, he was very good.
Good? Sorry.
His skin didn't snag my blade once, and very little mess. His joints dislocated easily, and his muscle tissue was a pleasure to work with.
We can skip those details. But there is one thing about the report that's caught my attention. You don't seem to have recorded a time of death. I'm sorry. Please put the knives down.
Is she cute?
That's
She is
not
cute.
my fault.
Oh, that made me jump.
Then please tell us what happened.
All right. Let's actually ask her now. So, why doesn't this autopsy report include the victim's time of death then? It's really the most crucial detail.
I was told not to write it.
What? By whom?
Male Strongheart, the Lord Chief Justice, he came here.
Lord Strongheart came.
He said that from the witness statements about the gunshot and the other evidence, it was obvious.
Yeah, I think you still have to write things down even if things are obvious, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man clearly died at 5 p.m. on the 1st November, when the gunshot was heard.
But that's not the time of death you wrote on the report. You didn't write anything. Was there some reason you didn't include it?
Dr. Gory, if you're hiding something under Lord Strongheart's instructions, then sooner or later, you're going to go the same way as your mother. Why are we bringing this up? This woman has 2 knives in her hands.
We're gonna die.
Friends.
Give it here then.
What's she scribbling so furiously? Fuck the defense attorney.
Yeah.
I hate him. You've written...
What were to tell us?
Indeterminate.
but oh.
What?
What?
What do you mean by that? Why was the time of death indeterminate?
When the specimen was brought in, it was still fresh. So the time of death could easily have been coincided with the gunshot, with when the gunshot was heard. But there was one small discrepancy.
What discrepancy?
There was some fried fish in the pocket of the specimen's overcoat.
Please tell me the fish and chips has saved us here.
Oh yeah.
And that fish had started to rot.
What?
If the victim liked fried fish, he presumably liked to eat it before it went off.
Well, yeah. What are you really trying to say?
It's possible that someone tried to manipulate the apparent time of death.
Manipulate the... Is that even possible to do? I have to keep reminding myself that forensic science is not a thing right now.
Theoretically, if you were to chill the body on ice, you could delay the onset of putrefaction. And if the overcoat wasn't on the body at the time,
Then only the fish would have started to rot.
with today's science, it's not yet possible to determine if the body is chilled or not.
But today's science is advanced enough to let you freeze a corpse, it seems. That's because today's science freezing a corpse is putting it in ice.
Yeah.
We've had that technology since we've had the ability to make ice.
But surely, to chill a corpse like that would require an enormous electrical refrigerator.
Or ice.
And I don't imagine many households in London are equipped with such a device.
Oh no, definitely not. But maybe in a factory or some other special places.
I don't recall seeing any factories or such like on Fresno Street, though. I wonder if the inspector's body had been chilled somehow. What might the actual time of death have been?
I couldn't say for sure. But at the most, it might have been a day earlier.
No.
In other words, it could corroborate your previous deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. That Inspector Grayson was killed the day before his body was discovered in a different location.
Did you inform
Did
Lord
you-
Strongheart of this possibility?
Oh, he simply said that there was no electrical refrigerators of that size in the vicinity.
Oh, yes. One other thing. It's something the governor of Barclay Prison told us. He said that your mother, Dr. Scythe, was responsible for confirming the death of the professor after his execution.
The professor.
Apparently, you always enjoyed listening to your mother's stories about her work, so we were wondering if you might know something about what happened 10 years ago.
That's not all Mama said.
Sorry?
My Mama carried out the autopsy of Clint Von Zeeks as well.
Okay, well, that one's kind of putting a hole in my maybe Clint Von Zeeks is alive theory. What? Really? The brother of Lord Von Zeeks, the professor's final victim.
The idea of carrying out an autopsy on a member of the aristocracy was completely unthinkable back then. But the detective in charge of the investigation insisted that it was miraculously authorized.
That detective being Inspector Gregson, of course.
Quite an accomplishment for one man.
That autopsy provided the vital clue needed to arrest the killer. And Mama was there for the historic event.
What does all this mean?
You know, that amazing autopsy happened right here in this very room. The professor and Clint von Zieks. They both spent their final moments before their burial on that dissection table right there. So this lab, Mama's lab, was instrumental in some of the country's most important events.
She really is proud of her mother. I wonder if you'd tell us more about exactly what happened back then, Dr. Gory. I was kind of expecting her to tell us no.
The professor's execution was Mama's first big case. She had to be in attendance at Barclay Prison execution chamber and signed the certificate to confirm the convict's death. Mama is the best coroner in the world, you know. I was so proud of her.
But the execution didn't actually take place.
No, and worse still, Mama actually helped with the jailbreak. I didn't want to know.
Oh dear, you found out recently, you mean?
I believed in her, in Mama, but
Oh.
now I wonder if I'm starting down the same path as her.
You mean because you omitted the time of death on this autopsy report? But that's because Lord Strongheart forbade you from including it. Oh.
Just like Mama. I'm sure she was coerced by somebody too.
Yeah, that's my feeling as well.
There's no doubt that there were powerful forces at play 10 years ago. Execution couldn't have been staged without a lot of people in prison knowing about it. Obviously, the prison governor must have been on it as well. Big man with the little handcuffs, according to what he told us. It was checked by the chief warder. He says he knew nothing about it. Of course he said that. I'd say the same thing.
Fair. Just who was behind that jailbreak all those years ago? You mentioned the autopsy of Clint von Zieks.
It was at a time when carrying autopsies of murder victims was very unusual.
It's still not a practice that's observed in our country, even now.
It turned out that the professor's final victim and when the autopsy was performed. Mama was present, although only as the secondary assistant. The professor leading the procedure was called Dr. John H. Wilson.
Oh no. We have Iris here.
Fuck.
have.
Oh, fuck.
That's right, my daddy.
These two are gonna brawl.
Fuck, is this how she finds out?
I hope not.
That would be scarring.
And there was one other person present, the primary assistant. He was a visiting student from the Far East.
Wait. A visiting student?
It must have been my father, Eugene Mikotoba.
I kind of feel like I'm out of place here. Like, we have Dr. Scythe's daughter, we have Mikotoba's daughter, and we have John H. Wilson's daughter. Did my father do anything?
Right.
Absolutely anything.
But you're not one of the Gorals.
I know.
But you can be.
I had no idea Professor Mikotoba had been involved in something so important.
But the outcome of that historic autopsy was the discovery of a vital piece of evidence that led to the capture of the professor.
So that's how they came to identify Genshin Asogi as the infamous mass murderer. Do you happen to know anything about that piece of evidence? Can you tell us any more?
Would you like to see the records for yourself?
Would that be all right?
What's the point of keeping records if people can't look at them? They're filed under V in the back of those cupboards with the other records from the last decade.
Thank you. Let's see. Von Zeeks. That's strange.
Are they gone? What, Mr. Naruhodo?
They aren't here. There's nothing under Von Zeeks.
Dun, dun, dun.
There must be.
Perhaps somebody took them away?
No one's allowed to take documents related to the professor case out of this room. But you're right, they're gone.
Well, when was the last time somebody looked at them? Do you remember?
It was... Oh yes, I remember now. It was 2 years ago. A consoling detective once came one day saying that he'd like to see the records.
Is it somewhere in the mess that is their flat? Because if it's somewhere in there and I have to find it, those things are staying lost forever.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
You don't mean...
Sherlock Holmes was his name.
Deep down, I knew that was coming.
Do you think he stole the records?
Oh no, surely not. Iris, that can't be right. Can it?
Iris? Aww.
Oh no. She's like,
Hallie, I believed in you. You know, I hope you don't mind, but
What is it, Iris?
I've just remembered something very important I have to do. I'm going to have to leave you now.
Okay. Suspicious timing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very sudden, Iris. Well, we'll come with you then.
Oh, no, there's no need. You and Ryuno will take your time here. Bye for now, then. Good luck.
Too happy.
She just, like, goes sprinting out of the room.
Wait a minute, little girl.
Uh,
Me? I remember now. You've been here before, haven't you?
Oh, no.
No.
Have
Oh.
you, Iris?
Yes, 2 years ago, when that detective came. You were with him, weren't you? You were a living specimen then, too.
Yes. She didn't change that. That's the way it usually works, yes.
Was I? I really don't remember. Anyway, sorry, but I must dash.
Wait, Iris?
I'll brew up a bottle for you when you get home.
Crazy Dio.
What's the matter with her? She's behaving really strangely all of a sudden. For absolutely no reason I could logic out. Well, in that case, we won't keep you any longer either.
It's been quite a while since I had any visitors. This was really fun.
I love her. I think we should make friends with her. Never
The
mind.
next time you come, I'd prefer it if you were ready for dissection.
I'm so sorry for saying that. I spoke too soon.
Spoke too soon.
I can't make any promises, sorry. It's a bit strange that the records of Clint von Zeke's autopsy have disappeared. But I think we've asked all we came to ask now. Alright, I think we need to end here for tonight because I'm exhausted.
Yeah. I was
Alright.
gonna say.
Next stream
fading.
is Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. But if you want to see the next stream of this, that will be next Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Anyone got any announcements?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully everyone has a good night or a better night than they have been. Good luck on your car, chat. Sending all the good vibes.
Look.
As a reminder, down below there is the link to our YouTube channel. You can go watch any of our old streams, including catching up on anything you've missed from this one or the first trilogy of the Phoenix Wright trilogy. So yeah, go check it out, like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and we'll be back on Thursday. Good night, all.
Goodbye.